So in last episode, I kind of ended by saying that sometimes the guidance we seek from these practices that slowly become dependence. But I was actually thinking after that how does that actually happen? Like I don't think anyone consciously decides that one day from today I will just stop trusting myself. I think this shift from guidance to dependence happens more quietly than that. And I don't think this kind of dependence begins because someone is weak or someone is foolish. But I think most often it begins during a phase when life is really uncertain because we are hurting somewhere. We are searching for some answers, for some certainty around us because we are trying to understand, to hold on to something. And there is nothing wrong with that. That's very human because when there is darkness all around you, it's very natural to feel uncomfortable in it. When you don't know where you are going and you are just keeping your step there one by one, it's difficult to see there when there is so much uncertainty around you. You don't know where you are going, and placing your step in darkness is uncomfortable. So that's during the phase when usually people search for these practices and somehow they are trying to understand, trying to gain some certainty around them. And then it begins, the process begins. Like we start searching from for some perspective. Like maybe we are not seeing the situation we are in, the darkness we are in, and we try searching a different way of looking at our situation, a pause, a reflection. And slowly, without even us noticing, our relationship with the guidance we were seeking that start changing. Like we may have begun by asking the question like, maybe I'm just looking for another perspective, maybe I'm just looking for some guidance, for some comfort words. And eventually the question we start asking becomes, what should I do now? The perspective, noticing the perspective, gaining the perspective thing becomes asking, what should I do now? We are asking for some instructions. And that shift is very small, but I think that shift in the question, it just changes everything. And sometimes what happens that one prediction, one reading, one chart, one planet movement, one transition, or one whatever doesn't just feel enough. Then we look at another, and sometimes even that opinion doesn't satisfy us. And then we search for another reader, another astrologer, another perspective, another practice, another something. And it's not because that particular practice asked us to, it's because we are still not getting that certainty that we want to, and it feels so out of reach that we just keep on hopping. And this is something that I have observed over the years. It is not something that I have reached in one day. And eventually, that shift results in that instead of checking in with ourselves first, what should we do? We begin checking with outside first about what should we do. And it's not because we completely lost trust in ourselves in one go. It's because little by little, slowly, we have started trusting the guidance more than our own observation. Basically, we started trusting the mirror more than our original self. We are trusting our reflection more than our own self. And that's how that dependence quietly begins. And I'll again come to that point I'm repeating, that there are many thoughtful people who practice these who practice these practices. They keep on reminding people to trust themselves. And I think it's majorly because they know that their guidance cannot ever replace the inner authority of the people they are reading for. They know this fact. And that's why they keep on reminding people. See, you can hear the noise. If you can, I don't know whether you can listen, but there is a background noise there of gearing up a vehicle. So I think I'm making a point here. So this is how dependence begins. Because the moment we are seeking the guidance, it's fine. But the moment we seek authority from that guidance, that's the moment when we just stop returning to ourselves. And that feels like a very different thing. So perhaps the question to ask here is not that should I seek the guidance. The bigger question here is that after receiving that guidance, did I come back to myself? Because if I didn't, then somewhere, without even noticing, the mirror have slowly become my authority. And that's a problem.